forward here.
I agree. We're all busy people. So good morning, everyone. First of all, I wanted to thank you all for taking the initiative of taking this first course with Madeline. I'm sure that you all experienced something magical with her, and I hope that it ignited a passion in you to work with children. This intervention for me changed my life. It was a pivotal moment for me when I did the Sandray exercise to abandon my life and do my master's. So I'm very passionate about it. I've used this intervention with children and adults, and the miracle that sort of comes through, the breakthrough and the healing that people experience and that we can help facilitate, I think is amazing and a powerful tool. So I congratulate you guys on taking the initiative, and I hope that you guys are inspired. So that being said, the reason why I wanted to kind of connect with you all was, I guess, first of all, I just would like to open up the floor and hear about, for you, what was your experience in taking this course with her? Everybody's shy. Shannon, tell me something that you learned or a profound moment you experienced.
Oh, way to put me on the spot, Lisa. Well, I was just thinking when I was looking at Desiree too, I know her and I were very emotional during our little trial that we had, but just, from the moment you go into the playroom until to her, is that what she calls it, a playroom, or what does she call it? Sand room?
Playroom. She always referred to it as the playroom.
Playroom.
Okay, but from the moment you walk in to the moment you leave, it's almost like you get transformed into a different way of feeling and thinking. And I guess that's what she kind of referred to, using your right side of your brain versus your left side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's, I know with me, it really helped me move forward in my grief and just kind of everything that has been happening with my dad, just from that one little session that she did with me. Right? So very powerful, very, it's science-based, so it's very interesting in that respect.
Now, Desiree, I know you talked about doing some other courses. Do you feel after your experience of taking that one that you would take more?
Yeah, no, definitely. It was it's a very magical place to go into that playroom, I felt. And I've done a couple of the Sandray sessions after the workshop with a couple of my kids as well. And I know it's a little different just to have, just a few amount of figurines and kind of that small kind of makeshift sand tray and stuff. But it still had, I think, quite a profound effect on the couple of little kiddos that I've used it on.
Yeah.
And I think the anonymity of the therapy is really amazing, because we never had to get into details about anything. It was just all in this picture. And I'm using it at the schools when I'm working there. So no, it was a magical experience.
Yeah. What I really like about the intervention is that it doesn't necessarily have to involve words, and also, working with nonverbal kids or autistic children who can't convey their emotions. I had one kiddo that I used it with, and he loved marbles, and he liked placing them in the marble, like placing marbles, and then he would bury some and not bury others. And so I was able to figure out how he felt about the key relationships in his life by how he put the marbles in the sand, and where he just aligned them so I could figure out his narrative story. So that was really cool. But you segued beautifully into the reason why I wanted to have this Zoom call. A couple things that have transpired is, one, we just negotiated a deal last night where we will be taking over a new space at the collective, and it's where the old CPA side is. And there's a small room that I'd like to convert into sort of the Sandray playroom, and I'd like to have a bunch of figurines. I'm gonna see if I can play you a couple videos right now. I figured, how can I do this today? Trying to do it virtually and also trying to show people the clinic. So they were hilarious last night. I went to go do some videos, and then someone was using the sand tray, so I was like, I couldn't use it. So bear with me here. I'm just opening up the file, and I'm hoping that I can share my screen. And then I will continue on to tell you about, okay. It's a big file. Okay, hold on.
Okay, everybody, so this is-
Okay. I'm just moving screens around. Okay, share screen. Okay. Can you guys see this video? Can you see like a video on my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so now this cabinet here is going to go into that little room, and this cabinet right now is sitting out in that main play area, and there's a bunch of labels on it. So on the top box here, that's where some of the figurines and stuff are. There's a bunch of figurines in here. There's a bunch of actual play therapy intervention stuff in here, and this cabinet locks. And then the sand tray is supposed to be here. So that's all going to get moved into that little room. And then I also bought a bunch of bookshelves. But let me just
Okay,
show
everybody,
you.
so this is the sand tray area. So.
Oh yeah, I started to record this.
Some of the things that you can.
And then I realized that somebody had taken the sand tray yesterday. Okay, sorry, I'm going to show you another video. I don't know why. It's making me go back and find the files, so I apologize. Okay, number 2, I'm opening up the second video. You guys see it's downloading? Oh my goodness. This is painful. All right, let's go. Open this thing. Okay. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see it? Yes? Nod your head.
No. I think
Yeah.
wait, sorry, the video?
Yeah.
I can't see the video. I think you have to like stop and start screen share again because it's on the download page.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's try this again. Now, can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, so she's taken off. Well, yeah, let me start over. So the way you should find it. There we go. So Shannon spent a great deal of time organizing this. So hopefully you guys keep it for now as organized as you can. And has any of you guys been in this yet, seen it? So there's a key that you got to get from the office because we don't want everybody. And see if it's fair, Shannon. Is there stuff missing there? Because you had a bunch of labels.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened. I haven't used it since I put it together, so
Okay.
I don't even know what it looks like in there now.
That's pretty organized. And you can see there's labels there on the bottom. Simran should be like a Vanna White. And there's the dolls, right? There's the different characters. And there's a bunch, actually I really found like, there's one in a wheelchair. So there's some disabled dolls. There's grandmas and grandpas. There's a blind lady there. So the kit that I purchased, it was there's probably about, believe it or not, $3,000 worth of supplies in there. So that's why we keep it under lock and key. And I only wanted people, there's a bunch of houses, you can make cities and towns. And then of course you can grab from other places as well. Like I think I have a whole bunch of cars. So, okay, I think you've pretty much seen enough of that. Okay, now I'm gonna stop screen sharing and I'm gonna try and speed this up a little bit here. See what this third video is now. Okay, so while I'm just waiting for that to download, so what I've done is, hey Nadine. Okay. Then of course, the next video is actually, she's just showing you that you gotta lock it. So that should be fairly obvious. Now, here is it's not the best video, but what I wanna show you is this little room at the collective. So when you're going down that main hallway, heading towards the front desk. Okay. Actually, all right. Thanks for your patience, guys. Okay, I'm gonna share screen. Here we go. Okay, so should you guys all see a hallway right now, that main hallway?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That dirty door that needs to be painted. So unfortunately, we didn't have any lighting in there. So it's a complete reno. So it's kind of a very small space, but enough that we can put the bookshelves in there. And if you were doing adults, you'd do a standing sand tray. And then if you had kids, you could just get on the ground, but it'd just be enough for about 2 people. So my goal, why I want to talk to all of you is that I need your help. If we want to use this intervention, and from a marketing point of view, you guys are now all play therapists, and it's a niche that we have as an organization to be able to advertise ourselves, and you specifically advertise yourself as therapists doing play therapy. But now we want to create our magical play therapy room. But it would take me months, years to be able to come up with all those figurines that clearly, you know, as Madeline has been in practice for 20 years. So what I would like from all of you is that I want you to help me build this magical room and fill it with magical toys. So if you go to Value Village, you can go to, there's a section, they have a bunch of bag toys. It's like $2 or something a bag. Or you have nieces and you go to their house and you say to your sister, can I have all their crap McDonald's that they've collected, you know, those miniature toys for the last 10 years. Or you see something on Facebook in the community page, somebody giving away toys. And what I like is that if through your travels in your life, if you can find these little figurines and toys and you bring them in, and if you pay for them, then I'll reimburse you. So just,
Thanks.
you know, I'm Nancy. I'll just talk to you guys in a sec. Yeah, so whatever, you know, if you paid $3 at somebody's having a garage sale down the street, just let me know, we'll reimburse you. And then what I'd like to do is create all those bins. So some of them we'll have on display, and then we'll have bins, and we'll have labels. And then, you know, respectfully, those of you who are on this call today, those are the only people that are going to have access to that room. So I'm pretty excited about that. I hope you guys are too. And that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. Is one, I wanted to let you know and show you that the sand tray there is available. Oh, I should mention something else. There's actually 2 sets of sand trays. One of them, Marianne keeps in her office, and I'll get you in a second, Julia. And so we have the rice tray. Oh, that's the other thing, is that if we have rice in that room, it'll be contained in that one room. So Marianne does have the stand. She has one stand box, and I have the rice tray. And then hers, she actually has figurines for like a court case. So because that high conflict team, so there's one set for the high conflict team right now that can be signed out. And then there's our set that is sitting in that black box, and you just have to ask the key for it. So for now, the idea is that if you want to use it, then the front desk will know, because you'll ask for the key, and then they will also make sure that nobody goes into that waiting room, because that's kind of where you have to do the sand tray. The other option is you could pick up the sand tray and grab some figurines, but ideally for now, if you can just do it in that kind of waiting area in the playroom, and then hopefully by the end of summer, we'll have that other room renovated. Julia, what was your question?
Yeah, my question was just around, so that room that you just showed us that's not yet lit, that's going to be like a sand tray specific room?
That's right.
Okay. One thing that I just wanted to share that I really liked about the way Madeline's place was set up was that everything was on display, like when you walk in there. So I'm just wondering if that's going to be a goal of the incoming.
That's the idea, is we're gonna have shelves and shelves, like on the back wall. I've already bought 2 bookcases, and then we'll likely put in some more like shelves on the wall, like those floating shelves, you know, kind of thing, that
Yeah.
are higher up above the actual cabinet. So yeah, the idea is to line the whole room with shelves, so they go in and it's visually they can see it,
Yeah.
right? Or maybe you sit on the floor and you guys look around, right? Spend that 10 minutes, or the child will go and look at each shelf and pick things. Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to share is my opinion on lighting, if you want to hear it.
Yes, absolutely.
So I thought a really clever thing that Madeline did as well was she had like little fairy lights around everywhere, which kind of created this magical space, especially because I entered, like our group entered first thing in the morning and it was still cloudy and dark. And so going in there felt really warm and inviting. So I feel like, I don't know, just as opposed to like clinical lighting just from above, I really appreciated the like magical feel of those fairy lights.
So even, you know, for those of you that are interns that are coming on, I mean, this would be a wonderful project for you to get some indirect hours, right? Where you can sort of be, you can come in the ground up, sort of help with the design. Even if you had to do a shopping trip, like that's part of your indirect hours, right? Because we're creating this space. So, and then the other thing I wanted to bring up is in the chat there, you will see that there's her website. So I know she's introducing the certificate program, and we chatted about that at the beginning of this call. So for those of you who are basically the main play therapy program that we had, basically they got bought out. It was a firm in the United States. It was a great program. It was all online. So if you want to become a play therapist, you can do it at the Justice Institute. Shannon, what are the 2 other programs that you found?
The Institute for Child Psychology every now and again offers accreditation towards the play therapy, as well as Nadine and I took just kind of like a refresher from CTRA, but it wasn't the best. So, or CTC, what is it, Nadine? CTRI?
Okay. So the Justice Institute is great. They're doing it online. They used to do it on the island, and you'd have to go for 2 weekends. It's called Expressive Play Therapy 1 and Expressive Play Therapy 2. She is doing it online. It is kind of, it's not hugely expensive. That one's about, it's about $2,500 bucks. And it's like 4 days, 4 workshop, like intensive days. But it's online. And so if you did the Madeline DeLittle program, the certificate program, she has, I think there's 6. And so they're about $400 each, but those are in person. So I encourage you guys to look at doing one program or another, because then you can advertise yourself as an actual play therapist, and people are looking for play therapy. There are only 2 centers in Langley. One is the Treehouse with Chris Wrench. I went to school with him, and we're the only other center. And because we are growing, and the intention is that we can create something with this Sandtray room, with our sensory room that Nadine has helped us put together, is actually being the best of the best, right? And coming from, you know, using best practice and best standards of practice. And you guys are amazing. And if it's a niche for you guys, you know, in order to get clients, it's a fun clientele to work with. And you can use this, as I said, with children, adults. I've used it with couples. Couples is super powerful. You know, have one wife do what she envisions her life to be like, and then the husband, and then they share it together and then create one together. Super cool. So for Mancy and for Nadine, you guys came in on the ladder, so you missed quite a bit of the first 15 minutes. So I would ask that you watch the video. I'm going to, because I am recording this video, so if you could please watch it from the beginning, I would appreciate that. And just to wrap up here, I know you're all busy and I appreciate it. I was like, you guys want to meet at 9 o'clock on the Friday before a long weekend? So I appreciate you doing that. But does anybody have any comments or any other feedback or suggestions before we close up this morning?
In the Santray, when the check-in or a session is done, Madeline would light a candle and then wish for a yearning. So we cannot have physical candles because of hazard issues. So can we have that battery operated LED one?
Oh, look, guess what? Amazon's delivering them today.
Wow.
Do you mention that to, yeah, they should be there today. So whoever, if Noah is there,
I'm there today.
yeah, so hopefully he'll open up the package. I had bought them for actually the medium to go into the group room, but maybe if you want to grab that key and then ask him when it comes and then grab a few of them and put them in the little black box there, which I
Okay.
talked about at the beginning of this meeting, so you'll know what I'm talking about more when
Okay.
we talk about the big black box. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yen, you've been quiet there. Do you have any feedback?
Yeah, I was about to actually. So with the Rise Train and Santry, I know with Marianne Santry here, she was quite particular though on who was allowed to use it, as she uses that for high conflict cases, right? So I'm wondering if we'll need to speak to her though for the Santry use. But a Rise Tray I know is more like a free for all. But I've been noticing that the Rise Tray isn't really. Let me frame this in the right way here. I want to be sensitive. I guess what I've been seeing and what I would encourage in hindsight from what I saw would be to make sure that we're keeping the things that our clients are using for Rise Tray, right? And to kind of make sure that it's nice and tidy for that, for the next person to use.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think there's been instances where I've definitely noticed a couple beads or gems or you name it in the trays themselves.
I agree, and I thought that some of the trays were kind of empty, right? So, you need to. I say this all the time, whether you're using Santray or whether you're using just regular game, it is not okay to wait to the last minute of your session and have the kids throw all the Monopoly into a box and put it back on the shelf, right? That's not respectful to the next therapist who maybe planned out a certain amount of time as a reward at the end to play Monopoly, and now they got to fix all the Monopoly before they can play. That's not fair to that next child nor to that therapist. Also, the child needs to learn that when you're at the collective, that we clean up after ourselves and we put things back exactly as it's found. And because I spent about $3,000 on this particular intervention, when I'm not happy, and I'm not going to be happy if I go into there and I see that it's a mess. Or the same thing when we have this beautiful room, which we'll probably end up spending $10,000 to build. And it isn't all about the money. Again, it's just about being respectful of other people's time. So thank you for bringing that up, Jen. And any of you interns, and actually Julia, you're not actually interning yet, but whoever, if perhaps I send this video to and you're listening to, there's, when there's project work for the interns, if you guys want to go and clean up that player therapy area whenever you want, when you don't have clients, in between clients, I really appreciate if you guys did that, to just kind of keep an eye on the toys and help us, the admin staff, because they don't open it. They don't open the boxes and see, but if you just open them and, just make sure that everything's clean and tidy. Go ahead, Shannon Lawrence.
Just kind of to touch base on what Yin said is, about keeping things tidy and stuff, is the post on the game wall still in effect as far as kids just having a free-for-all? If, say, a counselor is talking to a parent in their room and the kids out in the waiting room and they're going through all the games and playing games, they're not necessarily making sure that they're putting them away properly, right? Everything just, well, that's why I was just wanting to confirm, because I have seen a lot of kids just taking things out, playing with things, and then guaranteed they're not put away properly, right?
No, if you have to go into a room and have a conference with the parents, then you should be bringing that child to the front where the administrative where the admin is, and they can keep an eye on that child. If the child wants to bring a figurine or a car with them and sit there in the front room, that's fine. But you guys should not be leaving those kids in that play therapy waiting area. One, because they're not being monitored, and two, there's other therapists in the other room, so it could be disruptive to them. So
Mhm.
no, right? We've got staff at the front desk who keep an eye on the child.
Okay.
Thanks, Shannon. Julie?
So I don't know if everybody knows this, but I talked with Madeline and she said, you want to hear a secret little tip that I picked up over the years? And I was like, sure, what is it? And she said, at the bottom of the figurines, because they're so easy to knock over, what she does is she super glues guitar picks to the bottom so that they stand flat.
Oh,
So
okay.
I would recommend getting a glue gun, hot glue gun, and then a bunch of like Dunlop guitar picks or like whatever cheap ones you can get. And
Yeah.
that would probably also dissuade people from trying to steal them, because now they've got guitar picks on them and now they're not perfect anymore, just in case theft was a concern as well. But mostly just to keep it tidy and keep everything standing upright.
Now, Julia, if you have run into Marianne or have any interaction with her, because Marianne pretty much does the design whenever we do an expansion renovation. Can't have two cooks in the kitchen, so that's her side of the street. I will definitely, pass along your feedback, but as she's actually designing and having the electricians come in and stuff, I welcome you to give her feedback on kind of the lighting and that stuff, or whatever you guys found. So yeah, so it's gonna be fun. It's a fun project. I'm so happy for all of you to have been involved and taken this first course. I hope you guys continue and take more courses. And as you know, as a collective, we often invest in our interns and in our associates. And so there could be some subsidy there in terms of us helping you participate and complete those programs. And usually we do that in an exchange of some kind of project. So please approach me and Marianne if that's something that you, in terms of tuition, that you can have a private conversation with me or Marianne, and we can talk more about that. And with that all being said, we've been 30 minutes. If nobody else has anything else, I'd like to close off and get on the road up to Big White to open up our second office. And I want to just once again thank you all for your support and for your passion for what you do every day. And I'm just so grateful to work with all of you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Okay,
Thank
I'll
you,
send
Lisa.
you Nancy,
Bye.
watch that today.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.